Oh, all right. Sorry about that, guys. I was on mute this whole time. Sorry about that. So starting over, this is Q&Ace. Sorry about that, guys. Appreciate you guys for rocking with me. I'm going to go through a lot of the different questions that we have. Appreciate you guys for rocking with me. If you are day ones, if you are supporting this channel from day one, I would truly appreciate you guys if you did purchase a mug that we have. We got the new Stripe City mugs. We totally appreciate that. Also, if you join the Flick Chat, the new Stripe City Flick Chat, we chat during the game, we chat during the week. We truly appreciate that as well. I was getting these things queued up. I was saying essentially we were supposed to do this Friday, but had some things come up. So we're going to do it today. And we're going to go through a couple of questions that we have here. I believe we have about 4 or 5 in total. If you haven't joined the Flick Chat, please be sure to do that. We truly appreciate that. It helps out the channel for sure. It also helps out this segment because you guys being involved is definitely what I wanted to do here. And I wanted to give you guys in the community of New Stripe City the opportunity to hop on here and do stuff like that. So I truly appreciate that. But before we get into it, there's other ways that you can ask questions as well through Super Chats. But I'm just going to let you know on Flick where you can submit these questions for the future. So the first thing you're going to want to do is download the Flick Sports app from your app store. Once you do that, you're going to get prompted to log in. There's a bunch of different ways that you can log in. Choose whichever one suits you. Once you're in the app, you're going to have to add the new Stripe City Flick group. So you'll see that. You'll be able to search for it. Once you're in, you're going to want to find what is called the Q&Ace chat. Next, you'll want to read those instructions there. You want to submit a video here. You also want to give your name and where you're from and keep it between 15 to 30 seconds. And please, no profanity. Once that's done, you'll go ahead and submit that. I will get it and I will post your video on the show. Thank you. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get into one of our first questions here from Q&Ace. And we got some returning people here, so I appreciate you guys. Super chats are open. That does help you get your question answered. So we're going to go and start with one of our ones from last week.
What's up, Ace? I'm a big fan from Mexico, and I have a question. The other day, I saw the Trevion Williams highlights, and he was very good. So I had to ask the question, what do we have to do, to get him more involved? And I think we should give him more shots.
Well, I appreciate that, bro. And to those in Mexico, appreciate the love and shout out to Mexico for sure. I think you bring up a great point there. Trevion Williams obviously should be more involved. And I think that we got to see him last week in the Steelers game, and it definitely looked good. And I kind of talked about this with my Joe Mixon injury video. It's time to get Trevion Williams some snaps. I mean, there's no reason not to, especially with Joe Mixon out. Obviously, Gio is more than capable, and obviously Samaje Perine also played well. But we don't know what we have in Trevion, and it's just been too long for us to not really know what we have in Trevion. And I agree with you. I think we should get him involved. I think that they should give him some snaps today in this game. I truly believe that. So I think that you're onto something. I definitely think that we all feel like Trevion is more than capable. So, yeah, I agree with you. We need to get him the ball.
My guy. Happy Friday to all. First off, Dunlap balling. I think he got more sacks than us. As a whole squad combined, he got by himself. Next, me and you and a couple of people have said this time and time again that Zach is in over his head. But we would love to be wrong. I'm pretty sure you feel the same way I do. We would love to be wrong, but he's proven us right. So what record does he have to have? Because Mike Brown is patient. So what record or what has to happen for him to really be dismissed? We already know anything is going to keep him on the staff. So what does he have to do to be dismissed?
I think that's a great question. I feel exactly like how you do. I would love to be wrong about Zach Taylor, but he's definitely in over his head. I don't think that it takes a rocket scientist to obviously see that. He's definitely in over his head. I think in terms of them keeping him, I would think that he would have to win probably 6 games to keep that job. I think anything less than that, especially if he gets swept in the division, is not enough to keep his job, especially with this team. Obviously, I feel like the team has way more talent than some people are giving it credit for. And I think that we've got good players across the board. I don't think that this is a 2-win team by any stretch of anything. And then we also have a new quarterback in Joe Burrow, which obviously was an upgrade over Andy Dalton. And we're still seeing a lot of the same issues that we've seen before. And a lot of it has also been some of the scheme. It seems that the scheme has taken priority over the players. So for me, I think if he loses or if he wins 6 games, they may keep him. I think if he only wins, about 4 to 5 games, I think that it's time for a new coach. It's time for a new message, and it's time for a new beginning with these Bengals.
Hi, it's Dylan from Ohio, and my question today is, what team would you want for the Bengals to trade John Ross to, and what would you want in exchange for him?
Dylan, that's a great question. I think if you were to trade John Ross, I'm not sure that they can actually do that anymore, being that he's in the 4th year of his rookie contract. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is one that was declined by them. So he will become a free agent. I don't think that they can trade him. So hypothetically, you would probably want to trade him or have traded him in the past before the deadline for probably a corner or something like that. At this point, they're not going to get anything for him unless a team goes out and signs him to a huge contract, which I doubt would happen because they haven't seen anything from him. But I think that you probably get, because of that, possibly a 6th or a 7th round pick at the most. So probably not going to get much for him in return. And that's pretty much what we're looking at in terms of John Ross. That ship has pretty much sailed. That is why they should have gone and went out and did something. So unfortunately, seems like they're not going to be able to get anything for John Ross from there. So I'm going to go back to the Flick chat. I think that there may be some questions that were in there that were not video ones. So I'm going to go in here real quick just to check them out. And we got another one from my man Zach Ezio. I was trying to get his video up here, but we'll let this run.
Hello, this is Zach from Ohio, and I was wondering, what do you think the Bengals can do to get a pass rush?
So Zach, I wanted to show your face for a second right there, bro. It's hard to say, man. I think that this is even more relevant. I'm not sure if I played that last week, but I think it's even more relevant this week because they did not secure Tech. He failed his physical with the 49ers. At first, I thought that he failed it on purpose. Obviously, it just seems that he has some issues with that groin. We thought that was going to be the solution. Carlos Dunlap goes off, has an amazing stretch of games so far with the Seahawks. The Bengals still haven't gotten a sack, just like my man said earlier. Like, it's okay to admit that the Bengals made the wrong move. We think that moving away from Carlos, I never felt like it was the right move at all. I never felt like it was the right thing for our fans to jump on Carlos and not criticize the staff. But hey, that's just my opinion. But now it's created a hole because Carlos Dunlap, whether you like him or not, is a guy that's a rarity in the NFL. He's super athletic. He was a guy that even in his 30s was still being able to get after the quarterback. We saw that last season, which is why I was kind of questioning people when they talked about how he wasn't doing anything. Last year around the same time, Carlos Dunlap had about 1 or 2 sacks, and then he ran off like 8 straight in those last couple of games. May have been 6. I don't know. I just know he got close to having 10 sacks by the end of the season, and it was crazy. And when you looked at his PFF scores, they were off the charts against the run, against the pass. So you're going to have to replace that. You're not going to find a Carlos Dunlap just hanging on a tree somewhere. Obviously the draft is full of edge rushers. That's potentially a place, but I would think that you would want to get an offensive lineman in the first round as well. It just sucks that this staff is going to cost us Carlos Dunlap. If they are not taken back at the end of the season, essentially this was all done for no reason. And we're kind of seeing similar things done with other players, with them having to play out of position because they're forcing this scheme on players. And I had tweeted on Twitter and I said, I'm going to start saying how I feel completely. These are things that I have felt. I feel like they're trying to force their scheme off on these players and not really trying to build a scheme around the players that works with their skill set. And, it's shown. They're using Geno at a position. And you're not going to be able to tell me, hey, we need to move on from Geno because he's not a fit for this scheme with coaches that aren't even experienced enough to command that kind of change to say, hey, let's get these guys out of here. It'd be one thing if it was a Rex Ryan or something like that who has an established history that knows what they're doing. But this was a guy that ran cover one, the entire time against the Browns and let Baker Mayfield look like he was Peyton Manning. I'm not putting my trust in that staff in terms of them knowing how to evaluate players. Clearly, they were wrong. Carlos Dunlap left and went on a tear with the Seahawks in the 4-3 that the Bengals should still be running to this day. So with that being said, I don't know what the Bengals are going to do at pass rush because that's a stupid position to move away from because they're expensive. They cost way more than Carlos Dunlap cost us this season and going forward. You're talking about him only costing, I think, about $13 million. That's tough. They're going to get paid $20 million now. So you're not going to get that in free agency. They're not going to pay $20 million for an elite pass rusher. So you would hope that they would have to get one in the draft. I honestly think they need to play Khalid Kareem, my guy there. I think that he's good. I think that he definitely has potential to be on that level. He's very athletic. I really liked him coming out of Notre Dame, not just because I've had him on this channel. I think that he can step up and be that guy. I think a lot of people are talking about first or second round. And yeah, they may have to do that. You're going to have to definitely extend Carl Lawson. But I think that you need to play Khalid Kareem. Get him as many snaps as possible. When you look at him on PFF, he's one of the top players on this defense. Get him some more snaps. He can do a lot of things that Carlos can do with that athleticism. And so we'll see him hopefully today. Play him enough snaps. You have to play these guys. We've got Sam Hubbard. We've got Carl Lawson. They definitely still need to add some guys. So maybe in the draft you do that. Free agency, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. That's a premium position. But I do think that eventually Khalid Kareem can take that spot. I think he should be starting now. I think he should be starting for the rest of the season so that you can see what he has there. I think he definitely has the opportunity to make some moves. I just don't think that they've given him enough snaps personally. So for me, I think given what we have right now, being that there's no tech that's coming in or anything like that, play Khalid Kareem as much as possible, see what you have there. Also, depend on Carl Lawson, depend on sending some more blitzes, kind of like Lou tried to do last week, but that's how you get a pass rush. I think that's the best way that you can do it given what you have right now. So like I said, I'd love to see Khalid Kareem. I think that he's the second best edge on this team. Some people might say Sam Hubbard. You could say that as well, but I think given his injury right now, he's not 100%. So I think that your two best edge rushers right now are Carl Lawson and Khalid Kareem. You got to get those guys some opportunity. So hopefully we see that today, and hopefully we see him get to the quarterback. I've seen like Khalid Kareem really reminds me a lot of Carlos Dunlap. He really does. When you watch him on film, when you've watched him these past couple of weeks, he's almost gotten there several times. He's been there. So as long as he can put that together and they're putting him in position to make those plays, I think that he could definitely make the plays for sure. So with that being said, this is going to conclude Q&Ace. We're going to be back here at 1 for the live stream. We're going to be obviously doing the play-by-play, so sure hope to see you guys there. Like I said, if you do support this channel, please get the mugs. Please pre-order the shoes. We do have the Bengal shoes. I'm getting ready to get my own as well. We've got 2 pre-orders now. We need 5 more to get into production. If we can get 5 more, we truly appreciate that, and we need that. And it helps grow the channel. It helps support me. It's a vision that I have for this that I want to see through. So please, I truly appreciate it if you guys do take the time to look over those items and let me know if there's one that you like. And please, we've got links and stuff on our Twitter at New Stripe City. You can purchase one there. We also have things that you can do for free. Just signing up for Flick. That definitely helps this channel as well. We want to give away $50. We want to make sure that we're bringing you as much content as we can. And I'm going to keep doing it no matter how the season goes. If we don't win another game, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be telling you guys how I feel. I'm going to be going ahead and laying everything down here because at the end of the day, I want this team to do good. And whether it's criticizing the staff that's on there, if you guys want to make me the bad guy by doing that, or if it's certain players that are playing here or there, I'm going to do it because I want to see this team win again. So hopefully we can come out and get a win today. Someone is asking for the score prediction. I think that the Bengals can win this game. It's a winnable game, but certain things have to happen. If the Bengals can get to 30 and they can get out early and give this defense some help in terms of putting them in a position to where they can play with the lead, I think that the Bengals win this game, but it's not that easy. It is not that easy. The Washington football team has a great defensive line. They're going to be able to take advantage of that offensive line, whether you think that they've played a lot better in the last 2 weeks or not. Obviously, they're just coming off of a game where they gave up 4. You're going against Chase Young. You're going against another top defensive line in the league. If Pittsburgh's number 1, Washington's probably right there under them. You're talking about Montez Sweat, all of these guys. It's going to be a battle. So I'm not going to give a prediction here, but I think that if the Bengals were to win, they'd have to get to 30 to win this game. If they don't get to 30, I don't think that they win this game. So with that being said, this has been Q&Ace. I appreciate you guys for checking it out. And please be sure to check out the Tiger shoe. Please be sure to check out the cups, the mugs. We're trying to bring these hats through, but we have to move some of this stuff first to just validate it, because I know that there's people that support me, but I need you guys. I gotta see the support for me to start spending my own money and buying things like this and putting it out there. So with that being said, I'll leave you guys with a who day all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.